Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Midweek War. We are here to talk NXT. I, of course, am Mad Mike. You all know who I am. And with me is the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling, Eamon Paton. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. Can't talk words now, apparently. But I'm excited to be back again talking midweeks of professional wrestling.
Yes, as am I. All right. So, Eamon, we're going to start things off like we always do. What is your one word for NXT?
My one word for this week's NXT would probably be advancements.
Okay. I was going to say something.
I think that's a word.
I was going to say something similar, but I will change it to cage. Because, I mean, that's a thing now.
That's the other show. Oh, wait. Never mind.
It could be. It could be almost all the shows. So, all right. Eamon, what was your good this week for NXT?
My good for this week's NXT would probably go to the main event.
Okay.
Between Bayley and Nia Jax. I was very impressed by that match. It is without a doubt Nia Jax's best match since being on NXT. And I think it did everything that Nia Jax needed to do. There were like maybe one or two moments in the beginning where you could tell there was like slight miscommunication. Mm-hmm. But other than that, she's working a bit, I don't want to say she's working a bit stiffer, but maybe a bit snugger, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that's what she needs. Like she needs, for the longest time, it felt like she was very worried about hurting others. So it was like she was being more delicate in the ring. But here she wasn't afraid to hit hard and be powerful. And that's exactly what you need to do. I think this was a big improvement from the TakeOver London match. Told a really good story. Had a lot of callbacks to the London match with Bayley going for the choke. It was very smart that Nia worked the arm in the match so it could prevent her from doing the guillotine choke. Mm-hmm. Really smart wrestling, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think this is both an advancement of their characters and told the story from a character perspective as well of Bayley feeling like, well, I've beaten Nia before, I can beat her again. And Nia almost growing as a character. And because I think when we look at the build-up to London, she was a bit overconfident in herself with, because she didn't have a great deal of experience. So now that she's had that loss to Bayley, it almost kind of made her grow as a wrestler.
Yeah, Nia never really had to work before the London match because she just steamrolled everyone.
Yeah, and you could tell in this match because she wrestled it very differently. She wasn't like kind of like toying around and like being like, oh, well, I'm definitely going to be Bayley because I'm bigger. Like she stayed on top of Bayley, and it showed an advancement in her character. And if she's going to be the next challenger for the Women's Championship, I think this did a great job in building her up.
Mm-hmm. And you also have to remember, especially with like people who aren't fully developed yet, between NXT tapings, there's like usually at least a month and a half, 2 months of solid training going on.
Yeah.
So like whenever you see stuff from a new taping, the reason there's such a vast difference in a lot of people, like that happened with Becky, that happened with Sasha, that happened with even guys like Tyson Kidd. Like, there's a significant difference because it's been so long since they've actually taped and they've got to work on more stuff.
Yeah.
All right. My good this week is going to go to Alexa Bliss and the split that they've been teasing for a while, and the split finally happened. Blake and Murphy had their match with Austin Aries and his mystery partner Nakamura, naturally, and they lost, obviously, but I mean, it was fun. Like I don't know if Alexa is ready to be on her own yet. I don't know.
I think she is.
I don't know if Blake and Murphy are ready to be on their own yet.
That's a big question.
Well, no. I think Blake and Murphy could do better than Alexa Bliss because Alexa, her character is there, but her in-ring is not yet. And I think we can, agree on that statement for the most part. And I think that might be a little bit more of a difficult transition for her.
Well, I think you can. I don't think her in-ring is at all bad. And I think it's more important to have sort of even an established character, but a character I think the fans do enjoy and do connect with, as opposed to Blake and Murphy, where I've literally read 3 different reviews about this week's NXT, and they have mistaken who walked out on who in that ending segment.
It was Blake that walked out on Murphy, right?
Blake walked out on Murphy, but I've read multiple people say Murphy walked out on Blake.
Yeah, well,
and I think that's a testament to them as a team, in that you can't really tell them apart. I don't know. I think Alexa has a better chance. Also, for the fact that she's in a women's division where, the roster, at least even at NXT's level, is kind of smaller. Blake and Murphy, I think they have a chance, but they need to lay in some more groundwork going forward. This is definitely going to be sink or swim when it comes to them not being with Alexa. And especially, because I know one of the reasons was I know Blake is injured.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's a reason why he really had no offense in the match with Nakamura and Austin Aries.
That makes sense.
So I think that's also to kind of.
I thought they were doing something with that, and I'll get to that in my bad. But
I think they are, but
okay.
I think it's also a case of Blake was injured, so they're going to try to.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense then. All right, so Eamon, what was your bad this week?
My bad, actually, speaking to tag teams, and it's a bad that's it was just a real bad fuck up, production wise, because they announced on this week's show that at the next takeover, American Alpha is going to get or the Revival is going to get their rematch against American Alpha for the tag team titles, and William Regal was backstage in his office announcing that. And I think that was the second to last. He announced it right before the main event. But right in the beginning of the Gargano Ciampa match, Corey Graves and Tom Phillips are talking, and he mentioned something about the Revival getting their rematch for the tag titles at TakeOver to kind of tie it into Gargano and Ciampa, and it was definitely a misplaced thing. Maybe they thought the segment was going to come in before the match. It was weird. So that's my only bad, because it was just a technical fuck up on their part.
Okay. My bad this week is going to go to the Smoking Guns. Now, stay with me on this. No. When the Smoking Guns broke up, they were managed by Sonny at the time.
Okay.
And there was one. Billy wanted to head off with Sonny. Bart wanted to stay behind. I'm worried they're going to do that with Blake, Murphy, and Alexa.
Well, I think Alexa made it clear that she doesn't like either of them anymore.
Yes, but I'm still worried about it, because I kind of don't want to see Blake and Murphy split up, because I feel like that would be a huge setback for both of them. Yeah,
it would be. Can we also talk about how weird it is that, assumedly, now that they're breaking apart, that Alexa Bliss basically just went to a tag team, absorbed their gimmick, and then left, and is not going to assumedly be doing that gimmick?
Eamon, that's Sonny. That's Sonny. Oh. No, that was exactly Sonny. That's the thing. I mean, if they're trying to turn Alexa Bliss into Sonny, 1996 Sonny, the Sonny that was one of the hottest managers in wrestling, okay, I guess. If she hops to another tag team, if Alexa Bliss shows up with the Revival, would I be...
and just starts wearing
hey,
denim?
Hey, you know what? If there's anyone who's about no flips, just fists, it's
the person with the flips.
Well, she also has the glove hand.
I know, but she has flips and fists.
Okay, but then they can be flips and fists.
Is the glove hand going to be made out of denim now?
Who knows? I don't know, but she could go with Gargano and Ciampa. She could turn Corey Hollis and John
guy.
Skyler into something.
Who had different names on Raw, which pissed me off.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't want to see Blake and Murphy split up over this. I don't want to see Blake versus Murphy.
It's just one of those cases where it's like they're meant to be a tag team.
Yeah.
They don't need to stand on their own, you know.
Like, I almost felt as bad about this as when J.J. Dillon broke up. Granted, that worked out for people, but it took a while.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have, like, we could have another Marcus Louis and Sylvester LaFord on our hands. I really don't want that either. Where they both end up in TNA, and that would just be horrible for everyone involved.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, I want to see what they're going to do with it.
They would fit perfectly in TNA. They look like everyone in TNA, basically.
God. Yeah. They do. All right. I'm sorry I brought up TNA. Let's not talk about that until we have to. Eamon, what will be your change this week?
My change this week is it's actually going to go to the main event, just for a slight thing I would have done differently.
Okay.
Maybe just to make it a bit cooler. I would have loved if it ended with a submission finish, like Nia, because basically what happens if people haven't seen it, Bayley has does a flip over of Nia, injures her leg, and it plays into the finish in that, you know, her leg's injured, but Nia does the leg drop to the back of her head and beats her that way. I would have loved a submission. I thought that would have been a really cool, especially when they were playing up to the fact that like Bayley was being helped up by referees and, you know, kind of assisted. And Nia, instead of holding back, was like, no, I'm going to go in. I'm going to, you know, have that killer instinct to kind of go in. And I thought that was awesome. I thought it was really, really cool.
Yeah. Part of it bugs me about it, though. Like, do you think they're trying to set up a triple threat match?
I think they'll lean more towards just Asuka and Nia.
But then what does Bayley do at TakeOver? What does Bayley do there?
I don't know.
See, I would like to think that they're going to give Bayley some kind of send-off.
You know I think she'll get a send-off. I don't know if, again, we don't know when she's getting called up. You know, I think the whole idea of being called up now is very weird. You aren't just being called up when you are, in a sense, ready. You're being called up when there is a spot for you.
Yeah. Now, I have a question, and this is a little bit main roster stuff. With Emma on the shelf, do you think they call up either Alexa or Bayley?
I don't think they have to.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I think they got enough people in that women's division right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Especially ones that they aren't using.
That's true.
Like Summer's there, Alicia's there. You know,
I'm surprised neither of them were in the releases.
I don't think they should be though.
I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be either. But I was just surprised. And I think Alicia's mostly there because of Total Divas.
Yeah, and I mean Lana's wrestling more now. Like, I think.
But Lana's also going to be on Total Divas now.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't think it prevents them from, you know, doing more stuff with them. And I think right now, with the way they have things going, you don't need a huge women's roster on the main roster. You know.
All right. My change is going to come to Austin Aries. I would have had him pick someone different. I would have had him pick someone besides Nakamura. Like, I understand why he picked Nakamura if we're going to lead to like an Aries versus Nakamura feud. But I don't know. I think I would have had him because once you pick Nakamura and Aries, you know they're winning.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, I know, but I would have liked to see someone where it, because there's enough squash matches on NXT. There's enough squash matches. It almost turned into a glorified squash match with named guys.
But I thought it helped. It worked with the story, especially with the whole Alexa Bliss story. Like, if they were actually getting offense in, like, I liked it. It almost worked more that they only got their ass kicked because it made Alexa that much more pissed and disappointed in them.
I guess, but I mean, if he had picked Dillinger, and then Alexa could have gone, "You guys lost to Ty Dillinger," like. losing to Shinsuke Nakamura and Austin Aries is not really something to,
But also, doesn't that shit on Ty Dillinger a bit? I mean,
yeah, but if Alexa is saying it,
I know, but
she's a heel. She can say whatever she wants.
I don't know.
I think you could even have Alexa say, "Well, Ty Dillinger was the one that beat you. I'll go with Ty Dillinger now." Like, there are other ways to work it. Like, I don't know. It just seems like Nakamura was the most obvious choice that wasn't Eric Young. I would have liked to see him go in a different direction.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, I'm just pissed it wasn't Bobby Roode.
Jesus.
All right, so Eamon, where did you rank NXT this week?
Here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
Stay with me here. NXT is my number 1 this week.
What?
Chris, don't listen to this episode.
Whoa.
No, here's the thing. It's a very close episode. This is a very close week, other than another show. But no, it's a very close episode this week. I really love the main event.
Okay.
I thought the main event was Nia Jax's best match to date. Really did a good job of selling those two characters, and all the matches this week were solid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carmella and Peyton Royce was good. The Gargano Ciampa tag was really good.
Who were Gargano and Ciampa up against?
It was Danny Burch and a guy named I think it's like Rob Risen or something.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was Danny Burch. I couldn't remember the other guy's name because I don't think we've seen him before.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
And then we had another match. I can't remember what it was. But I enjoyed this week's.
Was there another match? We had the opening tag, the main event, Carmella and Peyton
Royce,
and then the Oh,
maybe I feel like I know. I feel like
there is. I just can't think of it.
I'll look it up later. But no, I thought it was good.
Okay. I'm gonna give it number 2 this week. I mean, it was a fun show. I love. Shit, we didn't even talk. NXT's first ever cage match.
Yeah,
we're getting a cage
which
match.
was announced on their Facebook page.
Yes, and it was my word, so we did kind of touch on it. But and that's gonna be fun. It was a good show. I liked it. I'm a little bummed about how Bayley lost. Like, I think we didn't have to fake an injury to do that. I think you could have just had Nia win clean if you really want to put her over, but it seems like they're pushing toward the triple threat, so I mean that's fine. But it was a good show. Like, I really enjoyed it. Alrighty, so Eamon, where can the people of the internet find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Eamon2Please, and also check out Inspire Pro Wrestling on Twitter at InspireProRes, and check out Inspire Pro Wrestling Tees store over at ProWrestlingTees.com to support us monetarily.
Excellent. And you can find me at MadMike4883 on the Twitter machine. Also, go to the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page. We talk about a lot of cool shit on there, and I believe there was something earlier about, what was it? Sword posted a link to something earlier today, and I totally forgot what it was. But, we talk about a lot of really fun stuff on the Facebook page. Someone, Garza posted about a match between Pentagon and Ray Rowe, because that just sounds awesome. So to find out about other cool stuff like that's happening in the world of wrestling, go to our Facebook page. We'll tell you everything you need to know about it. Alrighty, so for Eamon Paton, I'm Mad Mike, and this has been your Midweek